Hello everybody, Prow here. I am going to show you how to safely navigate through the end because we are about to do our first end raid, which is going to partially include killing these guys. And I'd like to have maybe a stack or so of pearls, maybe a little bit more. It's a little bit easier to get them now before we go through the portal. Okay, next thing we need to do is we need to actually get to the outer end islands. Now you can technically do this by bridging, which is the act of like placing blocks out in front of you, which was dangerous right there because the block disappeared, to get all the way out about 1,000 blocks in one direction. But that is not very safe for anybody to do. So you want to use the end gateways after you kill the dragon to get out there. Now we want to be extremely careful to not look any of these guys in the face, as I like to staircase up just like this. Now we're gonna have to be extra careful because that is directly over top of the void. You can see I'm having a little bit of issue with blocks disappearing. I don't know if it's like some server lag or something. So I'm just gonna hold down the crouch button and kind of take my time going up. And my recommendation to all of you, again, take your time doing this so you don't fall, is I'm going to make a little platform around here. So that way, if I accidentally look at an Enderman, I get some type of like lag on my input device, my mouse, my keyboard, whatever. I hopefully will not fall to my death. Now this is the end gateway, and there's two ways that you can enter this. I'm going to put some blocks here. Way number one is via throwing an ender pearl into it. That way should be fine. It's supposed to work perfectly without any issue, but I feel like I've seen instances in the past a long time ago of like the pearl just going through. So if you don't like that way, then you will probably like this way better. We're going to place down a crafting table and make a pair of trapdoors, and we can put a trapdoor right here. Click it. And now we can just crawl in. Now, before you crawl in, there's something super important that you must know. You don't know where this is going to take you, and it can take you somewhere extremely dangerous. So if this is your first time doing it, I would put like a chest or something here. Put all of your stuff in the chest. Be willing to die, because you're going to go through and see what the spawn looks like. Now you can jump into the void, in which case you'll end back up at your bed. You can come back here, and if it's safe, you can grab all your stuff and go in. If you're a little bit more adventurous, this is the other way to go in. You can go in with your stuff like we're going to do here. And as it teleports us in, we're going to hold down the crouch button once the screen loads, and we're going to look straight down to ensure we do not look at any Endermen. That's the last thing we want to do when we teleport in. Let's see what happens. So I'm looking down, I face down, and I landed on top of a chorus fruit, and I have island around me. We're good. This is a safe spot. You can sometimes appear on the very edge of one of these, and it's extremely dangerous. We got lucky. Now we are in the end, and we can now travel to try to find an end city, and we just ended up right beside one. We are incredibly lucky. Now I'm going to show you a couple easy ways to find end cities. The basic way is to turn your render distance up, and as you can see, I have end cities rendering into view. Now you may not have a super high render distance. I just recommend to travel in like one direction or maybe diagonally, and just keep going until you see an end city. Also, mark your coordinates, because if you want to get back home, there's death, and there's going back through one of these, or you can get your Elytra, which we are going to get, not from this city, it looks like, but we're going to get an Elytra, and you can fly back as well. Flight is probably going to be the way that I choose. We're kind of lucky here and kind of not. This is our first end city. It does not have a boat. I'm not going to go to this one because I want an Elytra. So we're going to turn our render distance back up, and then we can see a end city with a boat right here. End cities come in a variety of different sizes and shapes, but one thing is always true. If it has a boat, you have an Elytra. So we're going to travel out to this guy over here, and we're going to get our Elytra, as long as Blue Jay has not raided this one. Now, here's another thing. You see these big gaps of void? You have two ways to cross it. ender pearl or bridging with blocks. And specifically, you want blocks that enderman can't pick up. So no dirt, cobblestone, that sort of thing is fine. Now, I'm not an expert at judging how far an ender pearl will go, but I'm going to say it's not going to go that far. I don't think it'll go that far. And as you can see, I don't have a super easy way to go anywhere. What I may do is I may look for the shortest gap. This is actually not bad. We can make this, and this might connect all the way over there. So I can go here. I can aim upwards. I don't want to overshoot it just in case I don't know what's over that little edge, but I can aim upwards, something like this. A 45-degree angle is going to give you the furthest throw. I'm going to pull this down just a little bit. I'm going to throw the pearl, and I'm going to clutch really tightly because I don't want to die. Let's see. We're good. We landed on the island. A very important tip: if you bring snowballs with you, you can do a test throw for your ender pearl. Basically, if you take a snowball, it flies exactly the same. You can like look across somewhere, throw the snowball up, and see if it makes it to the other side. If it does, throw the pearl at the same angle, and you're good. If it doesn't, then you know that you would have died. If you like bridging better, then by all means do the bridging. Make sure you crouch, look down, and go slow when you bridge, because blocks can disappear in front of you due to lag, and then you could bridge across like that. In any event, here we go. It looks like we will make it to this end city. It is incredibly tiny. I'm also going to turn my graphics setting back down because I don't want any lag when I'm doing any of this. So we're gonna go back down to 32 chunks, 32 runs. Very, very smooth for me. And now we can go inside of this end city. You are going to want to have a looting 3 sword because you do get more shulker shells with the looting effect. And then we're gonna have 2 shulkers right here at the entrance. These shulkers, when they hit you, they make you levitate in the air. Where are they at? Here they are. They make you levitate in the air. So make sure if they do that, like this hits you, just keep your head like underneath here. That way you don't float way up and fall down and take a lot of fall damage. We'll wait for the levitation effect to go away. And then once it does, we'll jump down with this guy. We'll get underneath here. We'll take him out. And now we have shulker shells from both of these guys. We'll continue to raid in here. These are chorus plants. We're going to get some of this to take back home with us. Now we can go to the end ship. You can, again, use your cobblestone to pillar out, or you can throw a pearl. I'm a little scared to throw a pearl here. I'm going to play it extra safe, and I'm just going to bridge. When I get close enough, there's a shulker. He's always right here on the end ships. He's in the same spot every time. He's going to shoot me, and then I can just levitate the rest of the way over, and I can fall down right on top of the ship. There we go. He got me. I can poke my head right down underneath here. I can take him out. You can hit those shulker bullets, by the way, and kill them, break them. Like that. I'm going to plop down on the ground, apparently. And another thing I'll point out in here, you can shoot these guys with arrows, but if they are closed, it won't hurt them. It'll bounce off. If they're open, it'll hurt them. But you usually don't want to use your bow if you can choose not to, because you do not get the looting effect from your bow. And now I get the big prize. I get to go in here, take out this shulker. I think he teleported away. We get to get our elytra. We have our bundle here that we set up in the last episode that has our ender chest in it. We'll put down our ender chest. We will take out our mending book, take out our unbreaking book, grab some of our rockets, maybe a couple stacks of them. We'll take out our anvil. We'll put unbreaking 3 and mending on. And now we have a fully enchanted elytra. And now everybody, we can fly. I can click my elytra to put it on. I'm actually going to keep my chest plate on my hotbar. That way, if I anger some endermen or I go into a big shulker room, I can switch quickly to my chest plate and fight and not take as much damage, because your elytra has no protective value. Just make sure when you go to fly that you have your elytra on. And flying with the elytra is simple. I'll do a whole episode about it later on, but all you need to do is put your fireworks on your hotbar. If you jump twice, it activates the Elytra. So jump, jump. And now here we go. We are flying and you click that firework and you are off. Oh man, I have not done this in so long. It feels really, really, really good. Oh man, this is great. I love it. Now we can go to any end city really easy. I have a method that I use for going to all the end cities. You can use whatever method you want to. If you turn your render distance high enough, it's easy enough to just see them and fly to them. But there is a better way. Now, before we move on, did you know that I have merch? Meet the Hide and Seek Warden product line. My live stream sometimes asks me to draw things in MS Paint. You guys wanted to see these drawings become merch, so together with you, I made the Hide and Seek Warden. This design isn't about me, it's about you wanting to express how much that you like Minecraft. So be sure to visit my store on my channel page here on YouTube and browse through all the amazing products I have available and keep a lookout because there are more coming. So what you could do is you can take note of your coordinates. We're at -1165, -1262. I have chunk base right here. Let's just say -1200 by -1200. That's close enough. I can hit go. This is where I am. This is the city I'm at right now. And now we can use chunk base to plot a course around and get to any end city we want. The purple guys, those are end cities with a boat, and the gray ones are end cities without a boat. So you could zoom out here. This is the middle of the map right here where the main end island is. I could chart a path and just kind of dot around and get a whole bunch of end cities really quickly and easily. I think what I'm personally going to do, actually, now that I look at it, I could turn my render distance up high enough and fly around and just fly end city to end city that way. I think that's what we're going to do here. But chunk base is super valuable to you here. It makes it incredibly easy to raid a whole bunch of end cities really quickly. Oh, one other thing I almost forgot. Chests. You find a lot of them, and end cities, they definitely have the best loot. I don't really care about the iron, but I'll take all the other stuff. We got all sorts of diamond gear here, and we can eventually use this. So I'm going to take those things. And there's one other piece of loot here that's special. Ooh, brewing stand and potions are always nice to have. And there's this guy down here. One, the end rod. You can pick these up, but you can craft them as well. They're kind of difficult recipes, so if you like them, grabbing them from the end cities is pretty nice. But there's this guy right here, the dragon head. So I'm going to pop this off right here. I'm going to mine the dragon head. And I got it. And not only do I have the dragon head, but I can wear it too. It looks so funny. You can actually even run redstone to it. It'll like chomp up and down. It's pretty cool. And you could collect a lot of them if you want to. There's one at every single end city boat. Let's talk about shulkers and the fact that our inventory is full here in just a second. But first, I want to find another end city that we can fly out to. And let's talk a little bit more about how to raid end cities. I got some extra tips for you guys. So we're going to head to this end city here. Another thing that I want to say when you're flying, first of all, keep yourself aimed up whenever you're just kind of floating, or aimed kind of straight, and you'll float for longer. Keep an eye on your elytra to make sure that it's not losing durability. It's going to break, especially if you didn't bring mending and unbreaking. And then, yeah, you can just use your rockets to glide. Obviously, be careful when you go over large segments of void, but you can gain speed by kind of pointing down and then flattening out. And then, yeah, I'm just going to go from end city to end city and do a little bit of raiding here. And I guess I'll bring you guys into one of these parts here. Just going to like jump down here and start killing some of these shulker guys, and we're gonna get a lot of shulker shells. Did I pick those up?
Nope.
Did those guys teleport? Come here. You see me going down even though I'm like levitating. I tap the fly button, the jump button to fly, and it makes me glide down. Oh, and one more thing you're going to want to do. Once you get your first few shulker shells, make yourself some shulker boxes. That's one of the main reasons that we brought a lot of wood. So that way we can craft ourselves a bunch of chests. To make a shulker box, all you do is you sandwich a chest between two shulker shells, and that gives you a shulker box. We can make 3 of them. I'm going to go ahead and place these guys down, and I'm actually going to do a little bit of organization early on with my first several shulker boxes. I'm going to put all of the armor that I get in one, all of the tools and weapons that I get in another, and then all of my extra valuable things in another, and I may even have one for these health potions and stuff too. But extra shulker shells I'll put in here, gold and other stackable things I'll put in one as well. Or you can organize it however you want, but super nice to be able to do. And then take out your ender chests and then break those shulker boxes. They will keep all of their contents inside, and you can go ahead and pop them inside of your ender chest. So that way, if something happens, if you die or something crazy like that, you won't lose all of your stuff and you won't take up a lot of your inventory space. All right, and we are now in one of the big towers, and these big towers are really nice because they'll have a couple chests. We're gonna grab some stuff out of it. I put that wood in there. We got a bunch of gold here. If you want horse armor, you'll find it pretty often too. While you're searching through here, you are going to hopefully eventually find this, the Spire armor trim. It's one of the armor trims in the game that can be found in the end cities. Also, this little room is kind of nice because you can get yourself a free ender chest in every single one that you go to. So it's a good place to just collect a bunch of the ender chests and not have to craft them yourself like you normally would. But here's the big prize, everybody. If you look down here, there are shulkers. Here is my tip for you. My tip for you is actually put on your armor because you're gonna get shot a lot, not your elytra, and then just go and drop down on one of these guys and start hitting. And if you get hit that early like I did, you can put on your elytra real quick and just kind of glide down to the next guy. But just know that these shulker shells hurt a decent amount, so you need to keep an eye on your health. But yes, this makes getting them very easy. Another thing to look out for, you've probably noticed, these guys, when you hit them, they do teleport around. So you do want to make sure you do not have a fire aspect because they take more damage then, and then they'll fly around even more. You should be good now to go through and make several more shulker boxes. So now we can organize things a little bit more and get everything into designated places and keep our inventory free. I am going to keep these cobblestone blocks here though. Now, as I travel around an end city, to mark that I've been somewhere, I just put a non-end related block there. And that'll let me know that I've already been to that area and done, raided it or done whatever I needed to do. All right, I am now done with my end raid here, but I just wanted to point out one thing to you guys, which is these little end gateways, they are scattered at random areas around. So if you don't want to fly all the way back, or maybe you use all of your rockets and you can't fly all the way back, you can use these end gateways. They will take you back to the main end island. And when you first come across them, they make them a little bit easier to see because they shoot this like big beam up in the air, kind of like a beacon. So you can spot them kind of easily the first time that you load one. And here we are, we're back. Hopefully you guys got a lot of cool tips and tricks, and you now feel super confident, not only taking out the Ender Dragon from the last episode, but also going through the end in this episode and getting all of the amazing things. I'm telling you, being able to just fly up in the air and get wherever you want to with relative ease is so nice. And while I've enjoyed my time on the ground, and I do think eventually I'm going to spend even more time on the ground, I'm going to breed up some horses that are super fast. That way I get to view this place the way it's supposed to be viewed. It's still nice to be able to fly around, and Blue Jade can no longer just run away from me when he pranks me, which is good too. Oh, and by the way, if you like pranks, make sure you come check out the streams because that's where they all happen. Blue Jay's been given a cactus with a little surprise at the top. I imagine he's gonna have a smashing good time with it. Anyways, if you wanted to know what I got, what were all of Prowl's spoils after doing maybe about 10 to 12 end cities, this is what we got. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Elytra, a whole ton of armor, a whole ton of weapons and tools, a bunch of instant health 2 potions. These will come in handy later whenever we're making tipped arrows and that sort of thing. And then here's the big one. We got some gold, some other miscellaneous bits, 5 Spire armor trims. But look at that. We got 1, 2, 3, and a little bit more than a half stacks of shulker shells. That's a lot. A whole lot of shulker boxes, and you guys are already starting to see the benefit of shulker boxes. I was able to carry all of this stuff with me with ease, and I could just put it into my ender chest, which I'm going to go through and organize here pretty soon. That way we can start to carry and do a lot of things. It's going to make bigger projects a lot easier. It's going to make everything a lot easier. I appreciate you all hanging out. Today's episode was super fun. I hope you got something out of it. And if you enjoyed this video, click the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.